Have you ever found yourself talking to or dating a guy that checked off all the right boxes? And that fairy tale wedding that you've had in your mind was finally about to come true. Matter of fact, it was just over the horizon. But of course, the other shoe drops. And as soon as you start pouring so much of yourself into him and pushing forward, you find that he is pulling away. It happens to the best of us. Now, do you find yourself feeling anxious and worried about whether or not you are loved or secure in a relationship? Do you find yourself waiting by the phone for a text message or a phone call that's probably not going to come? Do you find yourself leaving your job to go hang out in the bushes outside of their apartment? If so, you are owed financial compensation, honey. I'm kidding. Even though financial compensation would be fantastic, you actually have what the psychology community would call anxious attachment. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I am Alyssa Khadija. I am the host of the Girl I Got You podcast, a narcissistic abuse advocate, and a certified mental health first aider. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing anxious attachment and some concepts that you can actually apply to your life to make that anxious attachment a lot easier to manage. Now, before we jump into today's topic, I've spoken about anxious attachment before in season 1. And if you have not checked out that episode, no worry. I will link that down in the description. Now, for those of you who are new to the podcast, it's actually very funny that last season's episode on anxious attachment has been my highest ranking episode to date. That means many of you who are listeners, viewers, and otherwise are, number 1, anxiously attached. And number 2, you are seeking some form of security in yourself and your relationships. Now, like I said in today's episode, I'm not going to reiterate everything that was said back in season 1. But what we are going to do is explore some concepts that will help you to manage that anxious attachment a lot better and help you find security in yourself and in your relationships. By the end of this episode, you will have new perspectives, a new frame of mind, and a new viewpoint as to how you view relationships and so on and so forth. And at very least, walk away with a sense of peace in yourself. What is anxious attachment? And I do have my handy dandy notebook here, whatever you want to call it. But anxious or insecure attachment is characterized by a strong desire for closeness and intimacy, while coupled with an intense fear of rejection and abandonment. So, how do we get to a place where we develop anxious attachment in the first place? Like I said in season 1, anxious attachment is just another attachment style that is formed in your childhood. Our childhood is the bedrock of our attachment style. Now, growing up, or even as an infant, right, you are attached to your caregiver. And the whole point of that attachment is to help you to get your needs met. So let's just use a mom and a baby for an example. Mom comes in, mom rocks the baby, changes the baby, feeds, clothes, bathes the baby, so on and so forth. That baby subconsciously learns that this person is the one who meets my needs, and this person is someone I should be attached to. Therefore, I can get my needs met. Now, if you grew up with a narcissistic mother, emotionally abusive mother, a emotionally unavailable or even just an absent mother. And it's not just about moms. This can be fathers, caregivers, family members alike. When you grow up and that caregiver is not dependable, subconsciously as a small child, you learn, I'm not sure if my needs are going to be met. And this is the breeding ground for anxious attachment. Now, next, we're going to discuss how you can tell if you have anxious attachment. Even though I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you know you do. But let's get into it, shall we? Now, I'm going to be reading off the symptoms of anxious attachment, like I said, from my handy dandy notebook / iPhone. So if you see me looking down at the list, just know that's what I'm doing. So number 1, you are constantly seeking assurance or reassurance from partners and loved ones. You do not feel like you are enough in the relationship, so you have to continually seek their reassurance and their affirmation to be told, I love you, you're beautiful, you're needed, whatever have you. Number 2, fear of being abandoned, rejected, or being perceived as too much. And this is something that I've experienced myself many times in the past. So trust you are not alone. Number 3, overanalyzing messages, tone, or behavior for signs of disinterest. Matter of fact, earlier today, I got a text from a new person that I met, not dating, just met them. And he let me know that he was on his way home. And I responded, hey, okay, be safe, right? Now, he didn't respond. And my mind was like, I wonder what he's doing. But then I said, how ironic is it that I'm actually making an episode on anxious attachment? And here I am. I wasn't worried. I wasn't panicking or anxious, but it's just funny to see how far I've come when in the past I would have probably lost my marbles. I would have crashed out completely. But that's just not the kind of life I live anymore, because I have been on this healing journey for as long as I have been. And there are moments that I do get triggered, but then I remind myself, oh yeah, that's not what's actually happening right now. Alyssa, you are safe. So number 4, difficulty trusting others truly care or will stay. Right? Difficulty trusting that others actually care or will stay. And this stems from the belief that we are unworthy and that we are unlovable. I believe this is number 5, feeling anxious or insecure when not in contact with a partner. I remember in 2018, I think I was a sophomore in college. Yep. And it was summertime and I was going into my junior year. And the guy that I was dating at the time, I loved him, okay? And you guys have heard me mention his name or mention him in previous episodes. But I had went to Orlando to visit my cousin for, I guess, the summer. And I was there for the entire summer, okay? My family, we do not believe in like a week or weekend summer break. You're gone the whole summer, from June 1st to August 1st, okay? And while I was there, of course, even before I had left, I had kind of felt that distance. I think I was maybe, 19 at the time, so very, very insecure, very anxious as an individual. But as I'm in Florida, I noticed that he's not talking to me as much anymore. I'm not hearing from him. And girl, when I tell you, I lost it. I so lost it because I felt like I was begging for him to talk to me. And I just didn't know my worth at the time and just how deeply loved I actually am. So I thought that me pushing forward, right, would pull him back in, but it only pushed him farther away. And I'm having emotional, mental breakdowns, crying, flipping out, pulling out my hair. Did I pull out my hair? I don't think so. As an autistic individual, it does happen. And before anyone says, well, you don't sound autistic, autism is a spectrum. Please understand this. But just know I lost it, okay? And when I came back, the first thing I wanted to do, matter of fact, before we even go there, I kept calling my mom, my family, and telling them, hey, man, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, just let me come home. They thought that something was wrong, and it kind of was. But I wanted to end my summer break just so I can come back to, or go back to Maryland from Orlando to see that guy. Never you ruin your own plans for a male, for anyone in general. But for the sake of the conversation, that's the advice that I'm going to give. Nonetheless, I get back to Maryland. I move back on campus, and he lived not too far away from my university. So he came over. We oodled and noodled. And then that was it, right? And in my mind, because I was so limerent, and what limerence is just like an obsessive infatuation with a particular love interest. So it's like that, all I can do is think about you. I can't eat, I can't breathe without thinking about you. I want you to know that this is psychosis. This is not healthy. This is not sane. It's not okay, right? And that's no judgment. I just want to be objective about what we're talking about today. Nonetheless, we canoodle. We go on about our day, our night, whatever have you. And then maybe like a week or two later, he tells me his grandmother dies, or his grandpa. When a guy tells you A, his grandma or his grandpa died, or B, he's just too busy with work, run for the hills. He don't want you. And it's okay if he doesn't want you, because somebody not wanting you does not determine your worth. Hello? Somebody not wanting you doesn't determine your worth. And I used to think that, like, oh, maybe he don't want me, he don't like me. But the truth is, not everybody has good taste. Not everybody has good taste, baby. Not everybody is going to see a Chanel bag and want to buy it, or even be able to buy it. That doesn't take away from the value of the Chanel bag. It just is. That's the value. That's the price. Whether you buy it or not doesn't make a difference. And it's the same thing with you. Just because someone might not want you, it really has nothing to do with you, and it's really on them. Now, this is not to say be narcissistic and think, oh, well, I don't have to change and I'm not the problem, whatever. No, if you're toxic, you're toxic. That's one thing. But if you know that you genuinely gave your best to a person and your love was unrequited, it has nothing to do with who you are intrinsically. You are enough. So, moving on. You have strong emotional reactions to perceived distance or withdrawal, which is what I described in that like flashback that I just described. Low self-worth tied to how others treat or respond to you. And I want you to know, it took me a really long time to get to this point in my life, but no one can treat me any way that they feel like it. People can only treat me the way I allow them to. People can only treat you the way that you allow them to do. If you make it clear up front, I don't tolerate none of that. I promise you, people will not try you, okay? And the ones that do, they don't care about you. And then you know, okay, this person needs to go. And you follow that up with action. I know we hear a lot of the time, like, you are the prize, but like literally this is your life. And I'm not going to spoil it, because I do have some more main points that I want to get into. But right now we're just going over some of the symptoms of anxious attachment. The next one is overcompensating in relationships. So this is people pleasing or over apologizing. I've been there. I have been there. I used to think that I had to be the best. I had to be perfect. I had to meet everyone else's expectations of me. And that honestly left me feeling so empty. And yes, I used to over apologize a lot. I used to say, I'm sorry so much. And then I realized, no, I'm not sorry. That's not my identity, but I do apologize when I am wrong. What I don't need to apologize for is just existing. I don't need to overly give and people please out of fear of abandonment because number one, I'm an adult. No one can abandon you as an adult, right? And I know it sounds crazy, but when we talk about the concept of abandonment, usually how that works is the person who is abandoned cannot meet their own needs. And so the person that is meeting their needs, when they elope or when they leave, that's what we would consider abandonment. Prime example, an infant cannot take care of themselves. So if an infant is left alone, that's abandonment. If an elderly person is unable to walk or feed themselves or whatever have you, same thing with them. If the caregiver leaves that person, that's abandonment. If you're an able-bodied, sound-minded individual, yes, you might depend on others for some things, but I want you to hear me when I say this. You are more than capable of meeting your own needs. I'm not going to spoil it. We're going to keep going. I think I have 2 more points. The next one would be idealizing partners quickly or fearing loss even in early stages. This goes back to that concept of limerence. You just meet the person and already you're in love. Love at first sight is such a toxic concept because this is in itself limerence. It's that we locked eyes, I saw you, and I began obsessing about you, right? I put you on a pedestal. Even though I don't really know you as an individual, I have a expectation or a version of you in my mind. And even if you're not meeting that version of yourself that doesn't even exist, it's just so crazy how this works. The version of that person that's in your mind is not the version of them that actually exists, right? So when you look at them, you genuinely see Prince Charming, right? In reality, he is Jack the Ripper. He's Freddy Krueger. You know what I'm saying? He is like your worst nightmare in reality, but in your mind, he is your dream come true. So this is that cognitive dissonance where you have the thought of somebody, but who they are really is not at all what aligns with your thought. Now, it seems like, okay, well, if the person's not really what we think they are, then why wouldn't we walk away? Because the version of them we have in our minds is what kind of pacifies us. It makes us feel good about the relationship. Regardless of how shitty the relationship actually is, the version of them in your mind is what makes you stay. But promises. Believe, I'm trying to believe people when they tell you who they are, when they show you who they are. Forget the rose-colored glasses. The red flags are screaming. That's what I was trying to get out, but my mind is running at like 100 BPM, so y'all are just going to have to bear with me. And the last sign that you have anxious attachment is reading small conflicts as a sign of rejection or loss. Going back to the whole concept of what's in our mind, my goal is to get you guys to think more realistically, not negatively or overly positive, right? Like toxic positivity, but to just be realistic. That's what makes a good relationship what it is to actually just be realistic and to look at what is reality. Not what you think it should be, not what your dream is. Just observe what actually is and be intentional in your actions towards that person and intentional in what kind of actions and behaviors you receive from them. Now that we understand, right? Now that we understand the concept of anxious attachment, let's discuss some thoughts, perspectives and concepts that will help you to become more secure in yourself and in your relationships. Now, concept number 1, you are just as valuable as they are. One of the reasons that I used to struggle with anxious attachment, and I'm sure many of you do as well, is because from childhood, we believed that we were not valuable, that we were not worthy, that we were not enough. And so when we meet someone, whether it's a partner, a friend, even another family member, people in general, when we come in contact with another person, because we subconsciously believe that we don't have value, we perceive that all the value lies within them. I want you to know you are just as valuable, if not more valuable than that other person. And I say this all the time. When we put people on a pedestal, it gives them the opportunity to shit on us. And we don't want that. We don't need that, right? You're valuable. You have talents just like they do. You have thoughts and opinions just like they do. You have likes and dislikes, things you hate, things you love, just like they do, right? You are valuable just like they are. So instead of sitting there or laying there thinking about them and they're so great and they're, what's wrong with me? Ask yourself, do I even want this person? You have to literally reclaim your power. Do I want this person? Forget if they want me or not. Do I want them? Do I love them? And when you start to shift that power dynamic and understand that you are valuable, especially as a woman, girl, your value is intrinsic, right? I see so many women chasing down marriage and wanting a husband and so on and so forth. Me, I do plan on getting married at some point, but it's not a priority. It's not like I need to be a wife to be valuable. No, my value is intrinsic. And I always say, I'm not marrying him. He's marrying me. Because remember now, the scriptures say that he that finds a wife finds a good thing. Not he that finds a girlfriend, he that finds a fiance, he that finds a wife. That would mean that you are already a wife as you are, right? And I think the next episode that I'm actually going to do is the concept of wifeliness from a biblical perspective, because that's the only perspective that actually matters, in my opinion. So again, you are just as valuable as that other person. Now, number 2, they are in your life. You are not in theirs. You don't need to audition to be in someone else's life. You don't need to prove that you belong or are worthy enough to be in someone else's life. How do I put it? This is your life. This is your circle of self, right? This is your circle of self. Other people come to it and want to be a part of your life. You can't see anything from anybody else's perspective because you're not looking through their eyes. You can't experience life for them, right? And this goes back to that childhood trauma of just feeling and believing like you're not valuable or that you're not worthy. This is completely inaccurate. This is your life. They're just living in it. And matter of fact, going even beyond that, you get to dictate who you let in your life. When I realized that, oh, babe, the game changed. It changed because I realized, I don't need to do anything to make anybody believe that I'm good enough. I am enough. As I am right now. And one thing that I've been really thinking about recently, and something that's been helping me on this journey, is to understand that, Alyssa, you are worthy. You are more than enough as you are. Like everything that you want, the love that you deserve, you are already enough to have it. You don't need to like work out to death, right? You don't need to self-improve to the grave. You don't need to do those things to be worthy of the love you deserve. You are enough. You've always been enough. And I'm sorry that growing up in our childhoods that we had to perform to be accepted by family members and friends, so on and so forth. But you can rest your cape. You are enough. I promise you that. Now, concept number 3. You are more than capable of meeting your own needs. You're not a baby anymore. You don't need to depend on a quote unquote caregiver. Obviously, if you're like one of those people who need a caregiver, like you're disabled or whatever have you, of course, that's not what I'm talking about. If you're an able-bodied, able-minded, sane, sound adult individual, you have nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nothing stopping you. You don't need somebody to take care of you. Of course, it's good to be pampered as a woman. That's one thing. But no one's going to change your underwear for you. No one's going to wipe your butt. No one's going to like hold your hand while you're riding the bike. You're an adult. And again, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to be objective. You can meet your needs. Some days I'm in my apartment and I'm like, man, I'm hungry. I'm actually really hungry right now, but I don't feel like cooking. But then I remember, if I don't cook, nobody else is here to cook. And plus, I don't want to put that burden on someone to feel like they always need to feed me. I'm an adult. I can feed myself, right? I can do things for myself. So one affirmation that I learned, and if I remember, I will link the video down in the description, and it helped me out so much. I am safe. All of my needs are met, and I can take care of myself right now. That affirmation helped me. Like, it just helped me to regulate my mind and my body. And I just want to do a quick side note, right? Because I used to think I was ugly. I look good. I look so good. Like, that's just a side note, but okay. You're more than capable of meeting your needs. And the good thing about it is, right? You don't need to depend completely and solely on another person to meet your needs, because one of God's titles is Jehovah Jireh. Shout out to him, because he does it. Jehovah Jireh, the God who meets all your needs. See how that works? And a couple of months ago when I was driving to work in Maryland, I was just thinking, I think I was listening to like worship music, and I was just thinking like, Lord, wow, like even if we're in the middle of the desert, you're still there with us. And you have made it to where we don't need to depend on anybody but you. You literally meet all of our needs. And I just started crying because I was like, oh my gosh. And honestly, one of the reasons I was so comfortable just literally leaving everything behind in Maryland is that his name is Jehovah Jireh. And I know that he's met my needs all the days of my life up until this point, and I know he's not going to fail because that's not in his nature. So even when you don't have it in you, God has it. And that's one of the most awesome concepts to actually think about. 4, people are just people. Nobody gets a pedestal. People are just people. There's nothing that is better about them than yourself. You are just as valuable. Going back to point 1, you're just as valuable as the other person. People are just people. Everybody, no matter how much we try to portray that life is so great and it's so perfect and social media lies and slander, everybody has problems. Everybody goes to bed at night. Well, most people. We all eat. We all use the bathroom. We all need love and affection. Like, people are just people. You're no different than anyone else, and nobody else is better than you. You don't need to put anybody on a pedestal because, prime example, we have seen so many celebrities. This is just one great example. We've seen so many celebrities over the years that people have put on these giant pedestals, right? Like they can do no wrong. They're just so perfect. That's the pedestal. Same thing with relationships, right? But let's talk about the celebrities for a minute. Diddy was a pillar of the Black community. Diddy. Matter of fact, people were standing outside the courthouse, no shirt on, lathering themselves up in baby oil, saying, y'all just want to bring the Black man down and he ain't do it. We know he did it. Diddy did it. Diddy did it, right? We had him on set. Well, not we. Let me say that because he was on a very high pedestal. But then to see the things that he was doing behind closed doors and how abusive he was as an individual and just perverted, right? That's an example of pedestalizing people, not knowing that they're worse than you. And it's the same with a lot of celebrities and people that are like household names, people that we know. You would be surprised how miserable and just how like, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Listen, a lot of them are weirdos. That's what I'm saying. A lot of them are sacrificing people. This is for entertainment purposes only. A lot of them are people. A lot of them are into some very ritualistic stuff. A lot of them are weirdos. They're not that great. Next example. There's influencers that will come and flaunt their new Gucci bag, their Louis Vuitton bag, their Chanel bag, and make you feel like you're a broke ass bitch, right? But come to find out, she went to Dubai, ate scat, had a golden shower, right? Like, for that handbag. Can no girl that ate excrement make me feel bad about myself? Because if I want the bag, I'm just going to go into the store and buy it. That's it. No need to, you know what I'm saying? Humiliate myself or any of that stuff just for the validation of other people. I say all that to say people are just people. You don't need to put them on a pedestal because I promise you, they're not better than you. They are not. Now, point number 5, be objective and avoid catastrophic thinking, which the psychology world would call catastrophizing. When I text a friend, right, and I don't get a response when I feel like I should get a response, number 1, that's me being entitled. I'm going to be honest. And sometimes I have to remind myself, girl, it's okay. Like, the only thing that happened is you sent a text message. That's it. All of the extra stuff that's in your mind, that's probably not even real. And that kind of objectivity has helped me a great deal in not being so anxious anymore in like relationships. And when I say relationships, it doesn't have to be romantic. You are in many relationships right now. You have a relationship with yourself. That's number 1. You have a relationship with God. You have a relationship with your family members, your friends, your siblings, your coworkers. Like, relationships are not exclusively romantic. So I want you to know that. You're not like, it's not as bad as you think it is. And second best case scenario, okay, this person isn't interested anymore, or this person is not interested. What are you going to do? You can cry about it. Of course, you can feel your feelings, But it's like, okay, well, them being interested has nothing to do with my value or my worth, right? Be objective. I know the emotions can sometimes have us in the moon and the stars and the quasars and in the galaxies and in the multiverse and in Andromeda and on CB 103, planet 500. Like, I get it. Like, the emotions and the overthinking can bring you like so far from reality. But reel it back in. Reel it back in. All you did was call. They didn't answer. That's okay. And that actually brings me to my next point. Everyone's world does not revolve around you, and your world shouldn't revolve around everyone else or anyone else. I have a friend. She texted me, I think last night. Yes, she texted me last night and I responded to her. She texted me back. I texted her back. Then she texted me back, but I didn't respond. You see how that works? I didn't respond. It's not that I don't like her or don't, even my cousin texted me earlier and I didn't get a chance to respond. I saw the message, but I was doing this. So I didn't respond. We sometimes can look at ourselves from like a victim perspective where it's like, oh, well, they didn't call back. They didn't text me back. Sometimes you don't call back and you don't text back. It doesn't mean that anything bad is happening. It's just people have lives. People are busy. People are sleeping. People are at work, or they just got off of work. Prime example, if I'm just getting off of work or I just finished doing something, I don't want to talk to nobody. I love you, but I don't feel like talking right now. And that's okay. And we have to be considerate of other people. Like, yeah, sometimes other people are not going to want to talk to us. And that's okay. Everybody deserves space. There's this concept called the threshold of tolerance. So the threshold of tolerance is, I'm going to try my best to like describe it, is the window where you have the most tolerance in it, right? Like, prime example, when you first wake up, your threshold of tolerance is probably going to be very low. You're not going to want to hear a whole bunch of yelling and screaming. You're not going to want to have like a 50-minute dichotomy of good and evil with somebody. You're not going to want to smile and do the niceties or whatever have you. Why? Because you're outside your threshold of tolerance. I'm cooking right now. Inside the threshold of tolerance, yeah, you're going to tolerate some things like kids crying. I don't like it, but hey, whatever, right? People calling you, texting you, calling others. You're live streaming, you're making content, you're cooking dinner for your family or yourself, you're playing with your pets, whatever, right? Like, you have that tolerance to give. Then perhaps before bed, your threshold of tolerance decreases, but you're not like completely out of it yet, right? Now, if somebody wakes you up in the middle of the night, that's a different story. And if you want an even different like example, somebody who says they're not a morning person is an example of someone who has a low threshold of tolerance in the morning. So again, your world does not revolve around everybody else, and their world should not revolve around you. Honestly, we should keep our eyes fixed on the Lord. That's what he says. That's what I say. That's what I try to do. I try. I really do. Keep your eyes fixed on God, and in perfect peace you will be kept, right? And even if you can't fix your eyes completely on God, and last but not least, the last concept on the list, pursuing people is lame. Pursuing people is lame. Pursuing purpose is where it's at. Pursuing people is lame. You would look at somebody and think they're the solution to all your problems. This is a fallacy. That doesn't exist. There is no one person who can be the solution to all of your problems. It doesn't exist. And I used to think that, which is why, thank you, Holy Spirit. I used to think that, which is why I felt that anxious attachment in the first place because I thought that this person would be the solution to my problems, my bread and butter, my everything. But people can smell that kind of desperation. And oddly enough, ironically, that's what kind of pushes them away. And then you find yourself not having those expectations met and then feeling bad about yourself. Now you have to go find somebody else. And it's just a sinister cycle of push and pull. Pursuing people is lame. Again, people are just people. They got their own problems to figure out. They have their own dreams to chase, their goals to meet, their families to take care of, their friends to be friends to, themselves to take care of. People are just people. And yes, while other people might have more access, more resources, things of that nature than others, that's fine. But your value is still intrinsic. A person with $1 million and a person with $0 in the bank account intrinsically are just the same. They're not any more intrinsically valuable than the other. Now, societally speaking, of course, society sucks. So it's going to tell you that we should value people based off of their wealth or their status or their career or their education. Lies. All lies. Nonetheless, I always say for women, right? A male-centered life is no life at all. A male-centered life is no life at all. Pursuing men, pursuing people, it drains you of your own energy. You're pouring all your energy into them. And then you wonder why they feel like they're better than you. Yeah, you gave them all your energy. Your energy is for yourself, for your life, for your future, for your plans, your dreams, your goals, your whatever, your beliefs. Pour your energy into God. He's literally the one who's been taking care of you your whole life. And you say, God, I'll talk to you later. Forget you. I'm going to pour my energy into, no. Pursuing purpose is so much more exciting. It is so meaningful because let's really be honest here, and y'all can put it down in the comments. What did you get from pursuing those love interests back in the day? Back in the day could be last week, last month, last year, whatever. What did you actually gain from pursuing someone? Nothing? Right. Nothing. Pursuing purpose. The reason I look like this right now and I'm glowing and I'm excited, I'm happy, and because I'm pursuing purpose. I finally understand why God created me in the first place, to do this. People say, oh, well, you speak so well. Your voice, there's something about your voice. I could listen to you. Yes, because this is what I was designed to do. And if you want to learn more about your purpose as a woman, I can definitely make an episode about that. But I would definitely recommend checking out the episode in season 1, What is a Woman and What is Her Nature? I think you will definitely pick up a lot of gems from that episode. So I will link that down in the description as well. Purpose is so fulfilling. Purpose makes you confident, while pursuing others makes you question yourself. See how that works? Pursuing purpose actually produces fruit, right? Versus pursuing someone, because for you to be in a pursuit of someone, they're running away. They're running away. Pursuing purpose, on the other hand, your purpose is intrinsic. It is built into you. And to pursue it is like going on an adventure. Yes, you're going to have times when you're in a dark cave and you're wondering where the hell you're at. And other times you're going to be on top of the mountain peak. Yes, I did it. I made it. But purpose is fulfilling. I promise you. And so instead of pursuing people, pursue your purpose. Because I promise you, pursuing your purpose, and honestly, I just like saying it because it sounds fun. Pursuing your purpose is going to bring you a lot more joy and fulfillment, right? Just like Peter Piper, who picked a peck of pickled peppers. But okay. Now, before we, close out the episode for today. Here are some tips that can help you to feel better if anxiety or anxious attachment rears its ugly head. Number 1, learning how to self-soothe. Self-soothing is just that, soothing the self. See, anxiety is a physiological response. You can actually feel it in your body. And so to cope and to help with that in a healthy way, learn self-soothing. One of the best forms of self-soothing I can say is stimulating the 5 senses, whether that's rubbing a soft blanket or cuddling with your pet or a teddy bear, whether it's cooking a warm meal and smelling it, tasting it, or aromatherapy, taking a shower or bubble bath, or drinking a warm drink, listening to music, or listening to the Girl I Got You podcast. Tap into your senses and come back into reality and realize, oh, I'm actually safe. Number 2, allow yourself to feel your feelings. Your feelings cannot hurt you. They're not going to kill you. Your feelings are just feelings. Yes, it's okay to honor them, but know that they will pass. And so while you're feeling your feelings, you can reach out to a trusted friend or family member, your partner, if you know what I'm saying, someone that you trust. If you have a therapist or an advocate, you can reach out to them as well when you're having a moment and you need someone there, right? You can couple that with self-soothing. Another thing is reaffirm yourself with affirmations. Again, you have the power to actually get through it, and not only get through it, but get over it. I am safe. I am enough. Nothing is going to hurt me. I am okay. I'm going to focus right now. Like self-talk, right? Affirmations would be like, I am worthy of love and respect. I am more than enough to be the person that I need to be. Like just different affirmations. And if you need help, you can always go to Pinterest. That's where I find a lot of different affirmations at. You can create your own affirmations that are specific and cater to your life. And you can always ask ChatGPT or Google Gemini if you really need it, right? But the next thing is get creative. See, when we sit around worried about who's doing what, it steals so much energy and joy from us. And one way to distract from that initially, until you just find it fun and joyful, or you find joy in it, is getting creative. You can journal about how you feel. You can paint a picture. You can doodle, you can draw, you can color, you can knit. One hobby I've picked up this year is scrapbooking. And I don't have my scrapbook with me, but one day I'm going to do like a scrapbook tour and talk about some different hobbies that you can, indulge in. But don't sit around worrying about people. Girl, go have fun, get creative. If you want to go shake your rump, go shake your rump. At a party or in your bathroom, whatever it is, have fun and get creative. Number 5, you have the power to decide for yourself. See, what oftentimes happens when we're experiencing anxious attachment is that we've left our future up to someone we cannot depend on with it. What do I mean by that? Prime example, your friend says, hey, we might hang out tonight, or a partner, love interest, whoever says, even though honestly, he shouldn't even be your partner if he's not dependable, but that's another subject for another day. Your love interest, the guy you're dating, your friends, your coworkers, whoever. Oh, we might hang out tonight, but I'll let you know. And you haven't heard from them in a little while, and you start to get anxious, you start to cry, whatever have you. Dictate for yourself. Fuck those people. Fuck them. I'm not going out tonight. I'm going to watch a Harry Potter movie marathon. I'm going to watch the Avengers. I'm going to drink some wine or hot chocolate, coffee, whatever. I'm going to listen to music. I'm spending the night inside, right? You see how you took back your power to decide for yourself? You have the ability to do that. So don't entrust your future with random people or just people that you know you cannot depend on, even though nobody should be in charge of your future but you. You get the point. And last but not least, pray. 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 Pray about it. Darling, pray about it. Pray about it. If all else fails, pray about it. When we feel like we're unwanted by other people, I promise you, our Heavenly Father wants you. He wants to hear from you. The Lord wants to talk to you. He wants you to talk to Him and tell Him how your day is. And nobody's love on this earth compares to His love. Nobody. And I hope the background is okay because it's just a lot going on. But nothing compares to His love. I promise you that. And so if you're ever feeling anxiously attached, go to your Father who is in heaven, the one who deeply loves you and cares for you beyond what you can even imagine, and tell Him, Abba, I'm anxious. Abba, this is what's going on. Father, I don't know what to do. I need you. He will not fail you. And not only that, He will make you stronger to the point where you don't even need to worry about who's doing what. I know for a fact because I am a living example. Living example. And with that said, got my handy dandy notes. Before we get out of here, today's scripture is coming from Philippians 4:6-7, right? So it's Philippians 4, verse 6-7. And this Bible verse, girl, back in the day when I used to be like actually so anxious about life in general, relationships as well, this Bible verse gave me a great amount of peace. And I want to share this with you. So it's Philippians 4, verse 6-7. And it says, be anxious for nothing, but by prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving. I don't even have to read it off of here. By prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving, let your prayers be known unto God. And the peace, oh, you didn't know I was going to add that razzle dazzle in there, did you? And the peace that surpasses all understanding will guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4, verse 6-7. Please take the time to look it up. Ask God, Lord, I need your peace that surpasses all understanding. This relationship, this job, this career, this dream, whatever, it's making me anxious, Lord, and I need your help. Honestly, what supplication is just being honest. By prayer, you talk to God. You're honest, right? You don't have to sanitize your prayers. You don't need to try to make it sound perfect and transatlantic and old English. You don't have to do that. You just have to be honest. That's what supplication is. And give Him thanks. I prayed before I started recording this, honestly. And this is going so well. And oddly enough, I don't know if you can see my tattoo there. It's my one and only. And it says, I can and will. It's Philippians 4, verse 13. And that's, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I just found it so funny that that verse from Philippians 4, just a couple of verses earlier, says that we need not be anxious for anything. Definitely check out the book of Philippians. But with that being said, lovely ladies, listeners all over the world, wherever you are, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope that you were able to pick up at least one gem, if anything, and apply it to your life. You are so worthy and you are more than enough. Like I said, I will definitely link those previous episodes down in the description. I'll also add my socials as well, where you can connect with me and follow me on Instagram and so on and so forth. Of course, I always tell you guys, please purchase my book, He Loves Me, He Loves Me Not, Lessons in Love for Girls and Women. I will put the link down below as well in the description. And while you're doing that, you can definitely check out my fall wallpaper bundle, where you can get 150 plus fall wallpapers. And of course, these wallpapers are for the fall girlies, and there's so many different types. There's collages, Disney wallpapers, or whatever have you, Halloween themes. Even though I don't celebrate Halloween, I know some of you probably do, and you'd like those lock screens, and just different aesthetics, nature, animated, literally, like I said, 150 plus lock screens, and I will put the description or the link in the description for all of you. Now, with that said, if you love the podcast, please share this episode with someone. Feel free to like, subscribe, download, and stream the whole thing. Even if you just turn it on in the background while you're doing anything, all the streams help. All your engagement helps to boost my podcast, and it helps me to keep making awesome content like this for you. So yes, share, like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Again, all that I do is for you guys. It's for you and it's for me, because I love entertaining, I love talking, I love hosting, and I just love sharing with everyone and connecting and so on and so forth. So if you do want to contribute, I will also add my Cash App in the description as well, where you can support and donate whatever you'd like. And with that said, lovely ladies, I have been your host, Alyssa Khadija. This has been the Girl I Got You podcast. And be blessed, stay beautiful, and know that, girl, I got you.